Hello, good morning, everyone. Today I am going to show you a brand new feature that MyRetailBuddy.com has put in, and I wanted to show you that how it works. It is fuel tank reconciliation. So if you're a gas station owner, you should reconcile your fuel every day, just like you reconcile your cigarette and lottery to make sure that you're not losing it and that you're not your tanks or lines are not leaking into the ground. And there could be many different reasons, or there could be a shortage on your gas gallons. So let me show it to you. If you're signed up for My Retail Buddy and you do have a subscription for fuel tank monitoring, then what you need to do is click on your name on the top right corner and first go to tanks. And once you're on tanks, if you got multiple locations like this client does, you can see fuel tank details for all your tanks. And obviously, you've been using this feature before. So if you want to drill it down and see detailed inventory gallons for for historical data. We pull the data every hour from your local ATG, and we store My Retail Buddy stores it in their cloud, so you can actually go as far as you want to go by using the filters and so on. I'm sure you're already familiar with that, so I'm going to jump right back into fuel tank reconciliation. So go back to your tanks, and then on the right top corner of that grid, you'll see two links. One of them is fuel reconciliation. So when you click on that, it pulls up your first store location that has fuel tank monitoring. So obviously you can filter by different locations and it will pull up the right data for that particular store. In this video, I am going to use Fuel Espresso number 25. And by default, it pulls up the first tank, which is the unleaded. And by default, it is going to show you current month fuel reconciliation. So you could obviously go back to November and pull up. As long as you're storing the data, it will My Retail Buddy will keep that data. So for our purpose today, we're going to show it for December. So once you select the store, the tank, the date, you click on filter. So we are on the unleaded tank for December 2025, and by default, we or My Retail Buddy will pull your readings from your ATG. So on the start of December 1st, you had this store had 5166. We did not get a delivery, and we sold 1,213 gallons, which means you should, or the store location should have 3953 in their tank. However, when we pulled the last reading from ATG, it shows 3919 gallons, which means it was short 34 gallons. So now, whether we are short or over, but this reading becomes your starting inventory for unleaded tank for December 2nd. So on December 2nd, this location received a 5902 gallons of fuel delivery. That's a net gallons that were dropped into the tank. And then gallons pumped was 1117. This means you should have, or this location should have 8704 in their tank. However, the last reading of the ATG showed that this location had 8637, showing 67 gallons short on the 2nd of this month. So now cumulative total loss for this location is 111 gallons in the first 2 days. It's a pretty big loss, so this location should look into why that is happening so they can correct that issue. Again, there could be many different reasons why this happens. It could be the weather, temperature, or location giving just a little bit extra gallons to your every customer that pumps, because the calibrations are in customers' favor for that location. So you might want to get calibrations done for your locations. So again, on the 3rd, the total loss was 32 gallons, now 185 gallons short, and then on the 5th, 3 gallons, totaling 188. However, on the 6th, seemed like there was a overage of 13 gallons, which now makes the cumulative loss or over and short for this location to be 175 gallons in the first 6 days. That's a pretty big number in first 6 days. So this location should look into what is going on so they can address this issue. So now this is for the unleaded, and then obviously the 7th has not completed yet. So by the end of the day today, we will have a new reading from the ATG, which will calculate these numbers. So you keep on doing it for the entire month, and you will see those numbers. So let's jump into premium now. So we just looked at the unleaded. Similarly, when you select premium, you click on the filter, and now you're looking at the filter premium numbers. Now, based on this data, it is showing that as of today, this month, we are 32 gallons over in the premium tank. So that's, it is in owner's favor a little bit. So that's not bad, but you still look into it. Should be as close to zero as possible as a cumulative total for the month. So again, this is inventory fuel reconciliation done for premium. So since this location has 3 tanks, I'm going to show you diesel as well. So once you click on diesel and filter, it will show you diesel reconciliation. This is again how much you have, how much you sold, how much was delivered, and how much you should have in your tanks, and how much you actually have at the end of each day. This is something that people do on spreadsheets or written piece of paper. This being automatic through MyRetailBuddy.com should save you a lot of money, time, and long-term headaches. So let me take a look at, so once you have all this data, let's say at the end of the month, when you're ready to submit this report to the state, or you want to keep it for your records, all you have to do is click on select the date, first the month that you want. And let's just go ahead and do it for November so you can see it for the entire month. So I want to do it for diesel for the month of November. So I filter it, and then I can export it as an Excel, or I can export it as PDF. So now this is creates a pretty nice report where you have fuel reconciliation as the heading, the first date and the end date of that month, fuel location, the address, and the facility ID, which is supplied by state environment department. So you can have that. So this report is pretty convenient, and it is for the diesel tank. And then if you want to, you can save it as your record, or you can submit it. But at the end of the day, MyRetailBuddy will keep all your historical data here, so you don't have to have a paper copy or have to store it in files and folders on your computer. Pretty neat feature, and then makes it a lot easier, and it can save a lot of money, time, and headaches for the gas station owners that do this on a daily basis. Not only that it saves you money, time, and headaches, but it will also keep you in compliant with EPA and your State Department. So this data is required to be submitted at least once a year at the permit renewal time. So having it in a cloud ready to submit by exporting it, it makes it a lot easier. So now let me show you one last thing about MyRetailBuddy.com. So once you go back to inventory, fuel reconciliation is one thing that I showed you. It also has what's called Tank Insights, which shows you all the testing records that your ATG performs on a regular basis. So let me pick a store that has a lot more data. So 64th Street is one of our locations. So let's look at the regular tank. So we are on tank leak, and I am going to go ahead and pick it for January 1st through now. and it's going to show you all the different testing that has been done from March through now. Nice report to have. Look at a line leak for the same period. You have all the different, it runs a different level of testing. 0.2, which is required by the state, 0.3 gallon. This is a line leak testing. Now, CSLD is one report that is required by the state every year. Almost every state requires that store owners submit this report once a year when they renew their permit. So again, we pull this data into the cloud, and when it's time to submit this report, all you have to do is export to PDF, and it creates a wonderful report, and that can be submitted with all the relevant data of a start and end date, the type of report, the store location address, and the facility ID that correlates with the store location that you're submitting the report for. So again, another cool feature, and we have a little over 200 locations that are using this feature now. We encourage all store owners that require this kind of reporting that they sign up, or people that are already using it, MyRetailBuddy. This will give them a way to start tracking it at a more granular level than they're doing it right now. Hope this video helps, and I look forward to sending you guys the next new feature or next how-to video soon. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.